Team should be up. Here we go. Let's see how many people we can get in. Hello, Saeed. How are you doing? But yeah, right. How's everyone doing today then? You've been practicing for ages. There's no amount of practice at Monaco that will get you anywhere. Monaco is one of those where you just have to pray. You just have to get it right. But yeah, it looks like we're only running with 11. Imagine being the first person to DNF in this race. Oh, that would be hell. You practice in a different way which you cannot share. Interesting. Everyone practices in a different way. I'm not going to jump to conclusions, that's for sure. Got a couple minutes and we'll have one more joining and then we'll go 12. Hello. Hello, Beth. Playing D&D and still got the stream up. That's oh. But yeah, Monaco. Many are scared of Monaco. It looked like it. Either that, I know some are watching Man City, Chelsea, which I have the luxury of having 3 TVs in my room, so it's easy done for me. Just waiting on one more. The real question is, who is going to be that? Who's going to be that? Those couple of people who don't score points because they are the only 2 people to crash. You know what'll happen? You absolutely know it's going to happen. The real question is, who is it going to be? So you got Mitchell here that's looking to essentially just have a free ride all the way to the top of the championship. Could be him. He's got his teammate in here today as well. You got 2 Williams, 2 Alphas, sorry, 2 Red Bulls, 2 McLarens as well. Oh, and both McLarens. So this is basically a 5-team race, isn't it? Alpha, Red Bull, McLaren, Williams. 4 teams, and then you got a random couple stuck around a bigger Haas and a AlphaTauri. But Monaco is one of those tracks. It's always that. It's just the track everyone's scared of. Let's be honest. You have to do this track usually as our last resort. Some people absolutely love this track, and I'm not going to bully them for it. I've been doing some practice on it recently. It has not gone well. I'll say that much. Definitely going to need to do some more practice for it myself, otherwise I'm in trouble on Sunday. But until that point, we've got our own race to run. And it looks to be dry. Don't need to put on that. That's everything I need to put up right now. Yeah, up the telemetry 1 second to double check whether or not it will be a wet race. You have to wait and see. It looks like the Mercedes is going to be the first one out. Yes. So we will watch Beard's lap then, as he is the first one out of the pit lane. That's usually what we do on a Thursday night here. Watch everyone's out lap, and then watch the first person out of the pit lanes out lap, and then the flying lap as well. We'll have a quick look to see whether or not the weather is going to be just going to be overcast, so there's no rain at all to be expected. Which is probably a sigh of relief to some people. Not gonna lie, I hope it's raining on Sunday night. Makes my job a lot easier. Beard needs to kind of spruce up that chicane a little bit more if he's gonna do well tonight. Getting that chicane wrong could spell complete disaster for you by the end of the night. Currently have 8 of the 12 people in the lobby out on a lap right now. And here we go, the first lap of the actual qualifying session. Beard down into Sandavort. And through he goes. The Haas is currently in the pit lane, letting him go, and I think he might be letting someone else go as well. The McLaren directly behind him, also on a lap. He wants to avoid a blocking penalty, probably needs to get out of the way. That's an 18.9 as the first sector in qualifying. We go for Casino Square here, down into where the tunnel is. The most, well, probably the easiest part of the track of this particular corner. You get to actually build some sort of speed before you get down to the chicane here, where this could go horribly wrong very quickly, especially if you go too wide down here and someone's going to have to make a mistake. We go through the final sector now, into sector 3. Very easy to lose the car, as just demonstrated. The car a little bit squirrely out of the second to last, and then through Raskas here as well. And it looks like Jack out of the chicane has crashed. So Jack is out of the session, and Beard's put up a 1:11.4. See what Jack can put up. He's on a 53.2 through the first 2 sectors, down toward 1:11.9. That's not Mitchell's car. This is Mitchell's car, and his lap is still going. That's a glitch. I'm not entirely sure what I've just witnessed. Mitchell currently going through the lap. Also got Joe here as well. Samet did an 11.2. You'd imagine these times just tumble down extremely quickly right now, considering it's not really one that really should be that high a time. You're looking more towards the 109 or low 110, I think. Yep, exactly that. Joe did a 110, but it was invalidated. We'll watch Joe, see if he's doing... We'll watch his first sector, see if he's doing anything properly. If he's going for another flying lap, I'm not entirely sure he will be. First sector is usually about an 18. Yeah, he's not. What about Heidenberg? Going through into the final sector now. Through Raskas, a little bit deep. can just about get away with going deep in Raskas, but if you make too much of a mistake, he'll take your front wing. There's an 11-7 for Heidenberg. Elite coming through the chicane now into the third sector. Probably the most important sector, I reckon, in the lap round Monaco, especially because it's more of a high-speed part of the section, especially if you can nail each corner correctly. Inspector down 10, 11-2-8 is only just quick enough to put himself on top of the board right now. On top by 18 thousandths of a second. 11-2-8-0 to 11-2-9-8, and that's invalid from J-Ray as his well, still going but not particularly great, and into the pits he goes. Boomer and Tepos on outlaps. Jag currently on a lap but 7/10 of a second down, so I don't really think he's actually doing anything. Heidenberg currently quicker. How much quicker, I don't know. Actually a proper time, so it's 11-6-1-6 there for Heidenberg. It's, again, not particularly competitive, but it's still there nonetheless. What about Elite? Elite's not doing a lot. So we will go and resume with Tepos as he goes into his first lap of the day. As he goes through Sandoval, pretty clean. You want to get on the inside of Sandoval, but not too much as to the point where you cut it and invalidate the lap. Maybe a little bit on too far to the inside as you round the corner there. Probably want to be a little bit more open on the exit of the corner, on the apex of the corner, so you can get a better turn in for the second half and the little chicane that followed. But down into the middle of sector 2 now, and toward the tunnel goes Tepos. We'll see where he's roughly placed against everyone else right now. Jagger 46. Definitely going to get one more shot at the very least, if not two. Just about. Oh, it's too deep. It's too deep. Way too deep into the chicane. It's not a good exit, so that might have cost Tepos a lot of time. 52.9 going through the second sector. He looks clean so far. It's still valid. Going into Raskas. It's not deep. It's looking pretty good. I don't think it's going to be good enough for a provisional pole, though. Down he comes. 10, 11, 11-2-4. It actually is. Just take all my comments back. Pretty good run. It's a very good run. Joe just starting a lap. Boomer in behind him. Oh, no, it's not Boomer in behind him. Sorry, that's Mitchell to the 110.499. And, well, there's 7.5 tenths just gained randomly from... Well, the guy that everyone seems to think is going to win his second title on the trot. Joe, 18.5, looks to be purple. He goes through the second sector now, trying to just etch off some time from Mitchell's lap. Mitchell already stated today that he would be fine with second. He needs 3 points in order to hit top in the leaderboard once again. Currently BR4, but he isn't racing tonight. Got a couple people out on laps right now. We'll go through, I think Mitchell's on an in lap. 52.1 for Joe. As we go through the second sector, and it looks like someone's had a bit of a mistake. The AlphaTauri letting someone through. I'm not entirely sure if that was mistake induced. You clicked the wall, and Joe spun it! Joe spun it! He was on such good pace! On such good pace, could have had it. Could have definitely had it, but there's a car in the wall. The Alfa Romeo had it all the way to the exit of Raskas and just botched it on the final corner, handing provisional pole right now to the Red Bull. That is a bad mistake. Lost the car, probably the one time you probably couldn't lose the car. And, well, there goes the extremely good time Joe was about to put up. probably lost a good 10 seconds on the spin. We're currently watching Jag as he is one of the guys that are there, just not quite doing enough at the moment. That's just about valid. I'm surprised that actually is. 52, 53, 54. That was a good lap for the mediums from you, Boomer. Fair enough. He is currently a 10th and a bit quicker, Jag, so I feel like he's probably gaining some time at some point. I don't think he's spun again. I'm not entirely sure, though. We're going around the final corner now, so we'll see where he actually is. Compared to his last lap, it's a 14.2. It's only 0.3 of a second quicker, and he needs to pick that up. What is Beard doing? Beard's coming into the pit. Heidelberg right now, is a quarter second up. Will move in one position further up the leaderboard. Mitchell's on an outlap. Clearly seeing what Joe can do and trying to raise it again. There's a lead. A 1:10.411. And the two Red Bulls fighting it out. So it looks like we're going to have a lot more people fighting out than we first thought. First thought it was just going to be a straight fight between Mitchell and Joe. Elite seems to be putting his name into the mix as well. Mitchell right now, 1:10.499. And Tepos just not quite quick enough. We'll watch his first set to see if he's about where he is. I think there's a Mitchell going over his lap now. I'm not entirely sure where his lap lied. Tepos is 1/10 up right now, so he's still going, but he's not really doing an awful lot. You've got Samet, Beard, and Boomer in the pits. Joe's come out for another outlap as he quite literally botched his last lap, in which would have definitely been a pole time. And it would have probably been a pole time that would have been extremely hard to beat. Tepos just... everyone seems to be a little bit awkward in that corner so far from what I've seen. J-Ray's yet to set a lap. Jack will start from the back. Like purple there for Tepos. That lap's still valid somehow. It looked like four tyres over the corner, but he's still going nonetheless. Tepos round the final corner toward the line. It's a 10.7, which is only good enough for third. And Mitchell over the line, and there you go again. Pretty much an entire second quicker than his teammate. Just going for it. Also Joe now going for his lap. Let's see what Joe can do. We saw his response to Mitchell's prior provisional pole lap, which was extremely good right until the end. He's currently not doing a better lap than he was on the last time out. Currently about a 10th shy. Now as everyone has actually done a lap, Jack will start 12th of 12. J-Ray did a 12.3 on the actual lap. Mitchell currently sits atop the tree. Sorry, did I say... Calm down, Jack. Tactical fall. Nah, Joe's invalidated lap. I thought I said it 10. But... Oh, Joe! Joe's out! Joe's out! He invalidated lap, kept pushing, and... Wow, that's a car on the wall. That's a car on the wall. That's the Alfa Romeo. I think it impacted Jack's lap as well. Don't know if he was able to continue at the pace he was, seeing the Alfa Romeo on the wall there. Lap 3 seconds slower, so he's obviously setting up for another one, which he's about to go on now, and we'll watch it. He's actually not. That is not coming down at all. What's going on here? Beard 10.9. What's Jack doing? Jack currently a 10th of a second quicker. But we'll see where he can go now. He's going for the end of the second sector. It was a 10th beforehand. What is it now? It's just shy of 2 tenths. He is getting a little bit quicker, but not quick enough to be really competitive with anyone else other than Beard probably right now. He's doing on track for 10.9. What can he do in the final sector? We get the view down to the line. It's not a 10.9, it's an 11.3. It's not even quicker than his prior lap. That's not good news. Yeah, Jag is coming in, trying to set up one more. Boomer, however, on an outlap. Or was on an outlap. I was still on an outlap. It's just not telling me he is one. Setting up for his final run around the track now, essentially. You've got this is his last shot. Let's see what he can do. Maybe a little bit of a preview for Tier 2 on Sunday. Out comes J-Ray, out comes Samet, out comes Mitchell. Elite's also on an outlap. Jack's got one more shot. I actually think his qualifying might be over because I don't think he'll have enough to go again. But here we go. Boomer about 700th down. Yellow flag in sector 1. Is the Alpha Romeo again? It's Tepos, who might just be letting someone through. Could be wrong. I think he might have been letting someone through. Yellow flag in sector 2. Just creating some space by the looks of things. Oh, a couple people letting Boomer on through down in the chicane in an orderly fashion as they both cut that corner. Boomer going through at 2 tenths slower than his best lap right now, and a 12.1 isn't going to cut it. It didn't look particularly safe coming out of Rascast there either. So I don't think it's going to be particularly impressive here for Boomer. Nope, he's 6 tenths down. Which means we're now going to take a look at J-Ray. I think he's... Beard's out. Beard's retired from the session. Jag in the pit as well, so that's the end of his one. Both McLarens are out now. Boomer's Boomer's qualifying is also done. Actually, we've got the 2 Red Bulls that are going out on laps now, and we're going to actually go and watch those 2. I think we're also seeing Heidenberg with a minute left on his outlap. We'll see. Let's see what Elite can do. It's not quick enough. He's again just about 2 tenths slower, and that's a wall. That's a wall. Don't know if it's got any damage. His car is not his best friend now either. I think Mitchell backed out of his lap. Elite was slower. Mitchell backed out. Will go again if he can get to the line in 30 seconds time. See what Heidenberg is doing right now. Going through sector 1. What is he doing? No, never mind. He's not doing anything. That's Heidenberg in a wall. Samet's lap is basically done as well. No one doing much in terms of improving here. Boomer trying one more. Tepos is out. Tepos is out. That's in the final corner as well, so that's another person who's actually crashed. So this is it. I don't even think he needs to set the lap. I think that's Mitchell on pole, irrespective of his lap time here. But I think he's going to go for another one anyway. J-Ray's finished his lap. Boomer's finished his lap. He's 4th, 10th down and moved out the way of Mitchell. So that's the end of his qualifying. Samet, also not having the greatest time. Doesn't have much. Elite was finishing his lap. Now in the pits as well. Mitchell currently quicker. He's just trying to put the icing on the cake now. He got pole. But what time can he do pole with? Going through Raskas into the final corner. Out of the final corner and down to the line. It's a 1:10.1, and that's your pole time for Tier 1. There you go. J-Ray into the pits as well, so it's a front row lockout for the Red Bull drivers. Tefos in 3rd, albeit I think his last shot was essentially tampered by the fact that he put it in the wall in the final corner. We saw the Alfa Romeo teammate also do the exact same thing on his first good lap. One that he didn't, well, one that he had to convert in the end, and didn't convert the follow-up either after crashing. But with that, that's the end of qualifying. That is the end of qualifying, and it was full of stuff. It wasn't boring at all. Boomer set his best time on the medium tyre, which is somewhat hilarious, even though he had multiple shots on the softs. Missed the league. Yep, so have I. I've missed commentating the races. I won't be repeating the fact that I've missed the league on Sunday after I get killed by someone, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree with you, MM. There you go. 2 Red Bulls, 1-2 Tepos behind them, trying to... We've got realistically 1 corner to make it work, because it's Monaco. There isn't going to be a lot of overtakes. Yeah. Still don't miss racing. Don't blame you. I say this, that the last time I actually raced in ALR I won, so can't really complain. But yeah, commentating is great. I absolutely love it. Do want to do more commentating on GT, but they moved Spec Series onto a Wednesday, and I don't believe I can properly do Wednesdays. But yeah, still a lot of things going on. Obviously, race Mondays can't come that, which is a bit of a shame. But I enjoy my GT. I enjoy commentating F1. It's incredible. It's an incredible game to commentate on. Absolutely. Contemplating getting GT. Would I say that GT's worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. GT's great. Especially if you get part of a league. If you get part of the league and do it with other people, GT is great. But only if you do it with other people. You do F1 with other people, it would be great. As long as those other people don't kill you. Let's be honest, if you're in a chat while you do it, I feel like that's the best thing about these kind of games, with racing games. If you're in a chat while you're doing it, you're talking to the people you're racing with, absolutely incredible. But yeah, I feel like, oh, Mitchell doing a burnout through the hairpin here. Doing a little bit of a spin in his Red Bull on the medium tyre. So look at what people have decided in terms of tyres. So Boomer on the hards. Joe and Jack on the soft, which could be extremely interesting. Maybe hoping for an early safety car to bring it in. Could be the case. Tyre wear isn't going to do an awful lot unless it quite literally pops. Again, there's no real overtaking opportunities at Monaco. Most of everyone went mediums, hards for Boomer. How many DNS are we predicting? Well, I thought we were going with 20 not that long ago. And I said 7 would survive if we had 20. The fact that we have 13, I'm not going to change. I still think 7. Don't see a reason to change it. I still think we're going to finish with 7 people. But we'll wait and see. Boomer got disqualified for jumping his grid spot. He's the only person to do it in the entire lobby, so... Here we go again. Right, here comes the return. I hear it, but I don't see the actual lights. So we're just going to go based on when these like go. And there you go, lights out, away we go. Who's got the better start? Does it look like Elite going to get Mitchell? And Mitchell's going to lead into Sandevot. Are we getting any heroics into Sandevot? It doesn't look like it, but we are going to continue to go side by side here between Bubba and Beard. And it looks like Beard's going to hold it for a little while. And Beard, maybe on the outside, clips a wall. Beard clips a wall and loses the position to Heisenberg. The front three stick as they were. Here comes Jack versus Beard. Beard looks like he might have a little bit of damage. Jack's got him in now as well. Looks like one of the Williams trying to go on a Alfa Romeo. That's Joe on the Alfa Romeo who's got a few positions. People bouncing all over the place at the back here. I think it was caused by Jack on one of the Williams. They looked like everyone was going pretty slowly. Joe on the soft tyre is going to make something work against Boomer here on the hard tyre. He's going to go down the inside in the chicane. This could be rather interesting. The inside line not working out for Boomer. And Joe takes that position rather easily. It made that look effortless for a track where there's no route. The Alfa Romeo and the AlphaTauri going at it still. It's not game over between these two. Looks like, oh, there goes Beard. There goes Joe as well. Okay, so Joe made the move even with damage. That is very interesting. So no DNFs on lap one. Not a single person hit a, well, clearly a couple of people hit a wall, but nobody hitting it hard enough to kill the race. Couple of people in the pits though, Joe and Beard. That's not good news. It is Monaco, and you would expect something eventually, but well, it's not what we're getting so far. No safety car lap one. It's looking increasingly likely that we're not getting a second lap safety car either. And it looks like everyone's starting to separate a bit. We might not even get a safety car at all, or even a DNF at this rate. Continue to wait and see. Samet versus Boomer now. As they go through Sector 2, the end of Sector 2, beginning of Sector 3. It looks like Samet's car a little bit slidey. Out of the swimming pool chicane. Oh, that's Boomer's car, even more slidey out of Rascars. And DRS now enabled, which is pointless because that's the only DRS straight, and it's not going to force any overtake, so it's entirely pointless. There goes Jack down the inside of J-Ray there. A bit ambitious into Sandevot, but he's got it done either way. Watch this battle develop a little bit longer. Looks like Jack might be able to disappear a little bit into the distance with those soft tyres, try and hunt down Summit. Oh, there goes Jay! There goes Jay, and I think it's caused Jack to have a problem as well. There's no front wing on Jack's car, and I still think, yeah, I think J-Ray survived with a little bit of damage, but not a lot of it. But there's no front end plate on the side of that McLaren, so he's got a pit coming up. There's still not a safety car. Elite and Mitchell right now going at it. These two just towing each other along by the looks of things. Tepos still in third. Heidelberg going against Tepos, who has had a problem by the looks of things. I'm going to assume we're gonna continue to watch him into the pits. I assume that's a front wing coming out. It is a front wing coming out, so there is a bit of a problem there for Tepos. Here comes Samet versus Boomer still. These two closing in as they were from what they were beforehand. We've had crashes, we've had a few people have to change their wings, but no DNFs, no safety car, and we're on lap 4. Still 35 laps to go, but that's beside the point. He's still got a battle going on here. Boomer got ghosted, a little bit of a tap there from Samet, I think. You don't really have a lot of pace going through that hairpin, and it's definitely evident that some people think that they can carry more than other people. Extremely evident in that corner between Samet and Boomer. So, Mitchell broke the second on Elite, who's 2.5 seconds further ahead of Heisenberg. Then you've got Jack 3.7 seconds behind the Haas, and then Boomer and Samet as we watch here, with Jack just hanging on to the back of this, so it's a three-way train, not a two-way train. And then after that, Tepos already pit. I think J-Ray, Joe, Beard and Jag all have as well. We'll wait and see. I'm just waiting to see what happens here before we go and check on Jag and whether or not his front wing has in fact been changed. It doesn't look like an awful lot's happening at this point in time. Just going to see through the second sector. And yeah, it doesn't look like anything's happening again. It looked like Boomer had a little bit of a problem through the chicane there. But yeah, it's still going between the three of them here. We'll wait and see whether or not there's a mistake that induces an overtake of some sort. We're not getting one right now. Jack still 8/10 of a second back, and those soft tyres haven't helped him as much as he thought they would. He's now outside of the DRS range, but you know, DRS is not something you can realistically focus on in this race. It is all about driver mistakes, realistically. Who's the first one to falter? We already had 4 or 5 that took off their front wings and had to make replacements for their tyres. Jack has finally gone into the pits onto hard tyres for his last pit stop this race. Has to be the final pit stop for him, otherwise his race is going to be over before it started. Jack still too far behind. Samet and Boomer just in front of them. They're going to go right on the back of each other through the chicane. Nothing really being forced right now. We'll see these two still going at it. Mitchell now has a 1.8 second gap. Joe gets past J-Ray there. It looked like J-Ray lost the position to Beard as well. May have had a little bit of a problem coming into the tunnel. And Jack's got himself back into DRS range, or had for a small second. I don't know if his other wing's going to open. It's not. Beard also within DRS of Joe, and those two going at it at the moment. Jack's just slightly too far off. Those softs might be a little bit dead already. Either that or they're overheating. Well, they're overheating until to the point that you can't really control them that much. One of the two is happening. I'm not entirely sure which. Has to be soft to hard for Jack, and soft to medium I don't think will work. We'll wait and see. Obviously, having a pit stop isn't really, well, being in front of someone is a good thing, considering there's no real overtake here. Most tracks you wouldn't be able to defend as easy as you would here. This realistically your only overtaking spot. Samet, 3-second time penalty there for track limits, as his fight against Boomer had suddenly just taken a turn for the AlphaTauri. Mitchell 2 seconds up the road, and quite realistically off into the distance already. Tepos brought his gap down all the way from 14 to 4 seconds, which would suggest that Monaco is not the longest of pit stops. Jack's going to lose a few positions here as he goes onto the mediums. As that might have been a little bit too ambitious by Samet there. A little bit of a touch in the back. I think his car's completely fine, and I think Boomer avoided the spin as well, so nothing's going to come out of that, but Samet's got to playing with fire a little bit here. Wait and see whether or not Samet's going to be a little bit more ambitious than what he was into the into the beginning of the second sector, sorry. Samet, 1.2 seconds back. He must have had a little bit, he got a problem of some sort, I think. Because he is just losing rapid time to Boomer right now. That's not usually a sentence you can say very often. 1.7 seconds, that time's ticking away. He lost an entire second and a half since that collision up in the beginning of the second sector. But as we go along, there's not really a lot going on. And surprisingly, an astonishing amount of, an astonishing lack of DNS. It looks like Beard's getting really close and personal. And there goes Joe as soon as I said something. Joe in the wall. And there goes his tire, and that might be a full-blown safety car. Are we getting anything for that? Really? Wow. Wow. That is not even a virtual safety car. What? That's on the racing line. That very interesting. That actually takes away the only battle we were actually looking at. But yeah, that shakes the things up a little bit. Samet's bringing it back toward between him and Boomer. Elite also dragging the time a little bit closer between him and Mitchell as well. Looks like Jag is about to become the first victim of the of getting lapped here. And there goes Mitchell trying to lap the McLaren. Who knows that realistically you have to keep going, you have to finish this race. It's your only way to points. But yeah, everything's going to meander for a little bit now, I think. And I'm extremely surprised that that there was no virtual or a safety car of some sort called on the death of Joe's car. That was incredibly surprising. But as we go along, Tepos trying to close down Samet again. Bearing in mind, Tepos has already made his pit stop. Everyone up to Samet has to make a pit stop still in this race. But Joe's out, we're down to 11. One more and we have guaranteed points for everyone else. It looks like Tepos has finally got into a range of making an actual move. We might be able to see some overtaking going on here. Something had to happen eventually, and well, we're about to see if it actually does come to fruition. Mitchell losing time here on Elite as well. Joe had a chance to realistically solidify a title chance today, and Tepos out of the chicane having no luck. His car just sliding all over the place. It must just be an Alfa Romeo thing right now. Well, right now, I hope it's not on Sunday. As we go through Rascas now, and Tepos still within a shot. Gonna open that rear wing of his for DRS. Doesn't really make much of an impact here. He is within a second. Mitchell opened another 0.2 of a second up to Elite in the last couple of corners, giving him a chance to just hold his lead. And well, while BR4 didn't race today, 25 points for Mitchell. Maybe if he gets the fastest lap as well, making it 26, would put him into a 20+ point lead at the top of the championship with 4 to go. Albeit that means that it's not anywhere near over. But it would be certainly one hand. Well, it could be one hand on the trophy. realistically by the end of next week for Mitchell at this rate. Here comes Tepos against Samet. These two still going at it. Bearing in mind, Boomer and Samet both have to pit in this particular battle. And Boomer also picked up 3 seconds for track limit warnings as we went on. Samet now within a second of Boomer. Tepos within 4/10 of a second on Samet. Could have a couple of battles coming up here. But, oh, here comes Tepos. He looked for it. He definitely looked for that. But he didn't get it. It looked like J-Ray just lost out to Jack as well. As they went through Sander Vaught, and Jack seems to like that move. Going through the tunnel now. Tepos is really closing that in. Maybe down into the chicane. Maybe he's going to look for it. He's pulled alongside. He's got the inside line. But as we know, the inside line in Monaco isn't going to do shit. Well, he had the outside line into the corner, the inside into the chicane, which we saw with Boomer earlier. That didn't work. Here comes Tepos again. Maybe he dives into the inside of Raskas. No, he doesn't. Keeps it civil. Knows he's buying his time. Samet has to pit eventually. So does Boomer. So does Jack and Co up front as well. Tepos finally gets past Samet, even before Sander Vaught comes. Now he gets to have a real good go at Boomer. But yeah, Samet with his 3-second penalty. Probably having to make something work at this point. But yeah, everyone outside of a second now. Tepos has got to yeah, still nothing happening at the moment. Tepos is, however, closing the gap on Samet, and you would expect that move to start blooming soon enough, because Tepos on the fresher tires against Boomer's hard. You would expect that gap to close in. Mitchell now 3 seconds up the road on Elite as we head into lap 15 of 39. And quite frankly, this race needs a safety car. It definitely needs a safety car, something to spice it up a little bit, drag everyone back close together, make someone make a mistake. But right now, everyone's just driving away from each other and nothing really going on apart from this particular duo. 3.2 seconds, the gap between the leader and second place, both the Red Bulls, 1-2 right now. Heidenberg a further just shy of 10 seconds down on Elite. And it's about to go towards 10 seconds as the Red Bulls completely nullified anything in this race. Jack a further 7.2 seconds behind the Haas. Maybe the Alfa Romeo going for something here. He looked for it. It looked like he had the run. He's also trying to go down the inside of Boomer there. He's also not got it to work. But yeah, this is exactly how I expected this race to go. Apart from the fact that I expected there'd be more DNFs at this point. Possibly a second shot at Boomer later in the lap. But down into the tunnel, Tepos is just too far away. He's just too far away to get anything to stick here. Boomer's going to survive a little bit longer in this. Oh, Boomer gets it a little bit wrong. Tepos almost had a chance to strike. Gonna lose some of the time here. They go flying through the beginning of Sector 3 down towards the swimming pool chicane. And then into Raskas. Here comes Tepos again. Just too close, just too far away. Sorry, not close enough. He got DRS, but it won't make any sort of difference. Beard pitting. Probably gone to hards. Okay. That's the interesting. That's a very interesting choice of time to pit. Very clear the mediums probably wouldn't make it. It looked like Jack's overtaken Beard while Beard's in the pits. He has. Here comes Tepos again. Tepos just really close, but not close enough. And it's just been like this for the last 5 or 6 laps, and it's almost like these two are playing a game of chess, which isn't exactly working right now. And well, Boomer's winning it for sure right now, and in comes Elite. Elite gained a 10-second gap on Heidenberg. How much is he going to lose? And there goes Heidenberg, so it's more than a 10-second pit stop. Tepos going to come out behind Jack as well. Here comes the other McLaren that has currently been lapped, and he has unlapped himself on Elite as well. He's going to immediately get blue flagged. Elite 9. Wait, oh no, the first one's Jag and the second one's Jack. Okay, so that's an actual battle going on then between Elite and Jacko. Into the second section, the one behind the heart is actually Jag, who has been lapped. Samet also now into the pits. Here comes Tepos down the inside, and he's made it stick. What a move! What a move! He chose his point, he stuck to his guns, and he made it work. Boomer knew what was coming, had to get out the way, no way he was defending from that. Tepos just made his claim, stuck it where he wanted it, and absolutely made that work. We're also going to have a look here between Elite and Jacko. These two, well, one has to pit, the other one just made his pit stop. Elite against Jacko here. Is Jacko going in? Jacko is going in, so there won't be an overtake there. But Elite will get the position nonetheless. Mitchell, 15.5 second gap right now. 15.5 seconds. Jesus Christ. Albeit, still has to pit. His gap currently to Elite is around about the 25-second mark, and I don't think it's a 25-second pit stop here, so it'll be a case of when Mitchell pits, or how far will he be ahead of Elite. Heisenberg also losing ground to Elite right now. The tyre difference playing into the Red Bull's favour. Mitchell comes into pit now. He's just going to take advantage of the fact that no one's anywhere in the immediate vicinity. He's going to go into the pits first, and he's going to come out of the pits first, and in comes Heidenberg as well. There you go. There's Elite going around the final corner now. And Elite going to jump Heidenberg here. And Heidenberg comes into the pit stop. There you go. Not a lot can be done there, but it's now a 5.5 second gap. It was for a split second there between Mitchell and Elite. Mitchell just warming up the tyres now. Can't tell whether or not that was Jag that Mitchell is going with. It is. I'm actually going to have a look at what Heidenberg is doing right now. Boomer's still got to pit. Tepos doesn't have to pit. However, I don't believe those be the guys that are going to the end. I would be extremely surprised if Tepos pulled that off. It would be a very good play. Especially if they're the late safety car. The late safety car, Tepos might be in very good business. Samet comes in to pit again. Or has he just got pit beside his name terminally now? Only one DNF. I'm extremely surprised. We are on lap 20. 1 DNF. And 0 safety cars. That's extremely surprising. Heidenberg trying to close down Boomer right now, not getting very far with it. And here comes Beard on Jack. We'll get to see this battle. These two are going to go at it. Closest battle on the entire grid right now. Samet is definitely not in the pits. Just making sure that the game is just glitching out where it tells Samet is. It tells me Samet is. As here comes Beard versus Jack down the main straight down towards Sandavot, and it's not going to happen for Beard here. Samet might be able to get himself in on this entire fiasco as well soon enough. We see Samet go through now, and these two still fighting each other, the Alpine and the Mercedes, the only two that I believe don't have teammates as well. But we'll wait and see what happens here. I think Samet's actually managed to pull himself onto the back of this, or is he a lap down? He might be a lap down or not. I don't actually know. His car's ghosted. I have no fucking clue at this point. But we're gonna go back to watching Jack versus Beard, which right now is still going in the favor of the Alpine. It's not an awful lot going on right now. I'll say that much. They're still going at it. About 3/10 split the two. We'll wait and see what continues to happen. It looks like Samet is right on the back of this as well. He is ghosted. Definitely ghosted. Not entirely sure why, but definitely ghosted. Oh no, that car looks... I don't even know what's going on at this point. Car looks ghosted, but the car also looks like it's physically there. I don't actually have a clue. But here comes Beard versus Jack yet again. These two just battling out from start to finish. And there goes Beard down the inside! And Beard made it work! Albeit, doesn't look like the cleanest move you've ever seen. But Beard, again, it's all about picking your spot. He made it. He made it work. Definitely made it work. Absolutely picked his point, sent it down the inside, and even give Jack the possibility of responding out of the chicane. Just cut him off. Made sure he had no leg to stand on, and it made it so Beard now can go after Jack. Well, Jacko, shall I say, the other Jack. But Mitchell, 5.6 seconds. Cleanest overtake around Monaco. It's certainly one of. I think Tepos is the cleanest, I think. I think Tepos on Boomer might have been cleaner. But all I'm learning here is you've got to pick your spot and go for it. If you do not get a good if you do not get a good run, and leave it. If you feel like you can do it, then you've got to go for it. Yeah, no, Tepos on the inside at the beginning of Sector 2, round on Boomer, it was pretty good. I think it might have been about like 9 or 10 laps ago at this point. The game still says that Samet is in the pits for me, which is interesting. In comes Jack. He's going on to a new set of mediums. Jack King's I commend the fact the fact that I'm not too bored. I'm very intrigued as to what's going on, because I've never seen a online F1 race with this around Monaco in particular, with such a lack of DNFs, or a lack of safety cars, or the lack of substance, pretty much. This has basically been the way it has. We've had a few overtakes. I think the number of actual overtakes on track might be at like 3 or 4. But yeah, Mitchell, 6 seconds. 6 seconds up the road on the lead. There's a further 13 seconds up the road on Tepos. The front 4 as we were at the beginning of the race. Boomer also trying something extremely ambitious. Bearing in mind, Boomer has to pit still. People are going 21 laps on the medium tyre as well. Also extremely interesting in terms of what's actually going on here. Joe still our only DNF. Jag, the poor lad, has actually stuck around after being lapped at the very least once, just in the hope that he could score a point, essentially. With someone else DNF and Mitchell, Elite, sorry, just about hanging on there. Almost put his car in the wall. And the rest are mediums, yeah, no. At that point, you could probably get away with softs to mediums. I don't know if you could force softs 15 laps. Not entirely sure. You'd certainly force them for a decent chunk of the way anyway. It looked like Jag's pit again onto the medium tyres. Any chance of making an overtake just fell by the wayside. Elite picked up 3 seconds, albeit it's mute considering Tepos is 14 seconds off the back of anyone. Could do on the last game, not sure about this one. Yeah, that's fair. Here comes Jack versus Boomer. Jack versus Boomer was an actual battle where Jack has actually made the overtake stick. And Jack gets it done through the tunnel. Albeit Boomer's on a lot older tyres. Still made it pretty easy for Jack. As Jack looks to go and tries to force his way maybe onto a podium with a high finish, a high placed person making an absolute tear of themselves in this race. Tepos onto softs, who are about to test the theory whether or not softs can go 12 laps. We are about to test the theory here. Tepos may have just threw away a top 3 finish there, by the way. Provided, obviously, the mediums would have gone that far. I don't think they would have, but still rather interesting. Jack picks up the fastest lap of the race so far, so that'd be 3 points to him. Boomer had lost a decent chunk of time already to Jack. There's 1.4 seconds now. The overtake was made exactly 1 lap ago. Elite's come back in for pit. Elite's come into pit. He's going on to medium tyres. He's going to come out behind Heisenberg here, I'm pretty sure. Oh, he had a front wing change. Oh, well, that makes things even more interesting for the top 3 now. Heisenberg doesn't have to do anything else, provided that his wing doesn't have to be changed at any point. It also means that Mitchell has a free pit stop for whenever he wants it. Here comes Jack as well. Here comes Jack as well. McLaren might be able to do something here. Maybe he's got a sliver of a chance against the Red Bull here. He's got to get it done this lap. While those medium tyres are warming up, he's got to get it done. Otherwise, he's just going to fall back again as well. I think that's exactly what's about to happen. So Elite's pit had to get his front wing changed. 9 seconds behind Heidenberg, and I think that would be the end of his chance at top 2. I don't think Heidenberg's pitting again unless he gets damage. So I think that's the end of his chance at a top 2. Even if I had damage at that point, I had a 9+ second gap, I think I'd be staying out, try and weather the storm. If I get third, I get third. If I don't, then I get second. That's literally the worst case scenario out of that. But now he actually has to get some work done. Got 10 laps. He's got 10 laps and he's got to do something in order to get that second place back. They've actually got a couple of battles here. Couple of battles going on here. Beard versus Boomer versus Tepos. Tepos on the softs. He was third, don't forget. Then Pitt onto soft tyres. Not sure if his mediums could have gone the entire way. We'll never find out. Beard looking to make a move on Boomer. He's going to have to do it to protect himself from Tepos sooner rather than later. Here comes Beard. He's picked his spot again down the inside. And this time he's actually going to do the exact same thing. Boomer basically stonewalled by Beard and the Mercedes there. He did it to Jack, who'll be a lot cleaner and a lot safer to Jack. Earlier on, here comes Tepos, maybe to the inside of Raskas. Elijah sets the fastest lap for the entire race. But that's a pretty good move there from Beard down into the chicane again. He knows where to pick his spot. Inside the bot. They're on the outside goes Tepos. Just about. There was a collision there, but they're both just about surviving. That could have been very dangerous going into out of Thunderbot. Might have induced a safety car if one of them had crashed. You've got Tepos now 1.8 seconds behind Beard, who opened the gap, who probably saved himself for a short while because of the move he made on Boomer. He definitely has, well, he's picked his points, and when you pick your points, it ain't gonna go wrong. Oh, Tepos sliding that car a little bit there through the chicane. Well, on the exit of the chicane, rather. Loses a little bit time on Beard, and he's running out of time to try and catch him. From what could have been a second or a third, he's losing it down in 6th right now. Beard might also be able to try and track down Jacko. Yellow flag in sector 3, it's Boomer! But he's going into the pits straight away, so he gets very much away with it. Very much away with that one, Boomer, because just about survives that. Jack 9 seconds behind the lead, so that 3-second penalty all of a sudden becomes mute once again. Mitchell 25 seconds in the lead. 25 seconds. He could just go in, take an entire pit stop, and go, alright, I want fastest lap now. That's exactly what he could do. Don't think it's worth it. Just take the easy win when you get it, but it's exactly what he could do. Tepos closing it in. Jack now 10 seconds behind Elite, who is closing in rapidly on Heisenberg. He might be able to take his second place back. He had some work to do. Yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's just someone getting out the way. It's no, never mind. It's Heisenberg that's out. In the exact same place as Joe. Hopefully the car stayed long enough that we can get a good look from Jacko's perspective. Yeah, it's the exact same space as Joe. In the exact same way by the looks of it. And that's 2 down, and we know if Joe hasn't brought out a safety car there, then there's no hope in hell in Heisenberg bringing one out either. Mitchell comes into pit now, knowing he has quite literally the end till the end of time in the lead. And yeah, onto soft tires. He's done exactly what I thought he would do. Genuinely done exactly what I thought he would do, and that gap's going to jump probably jump to about 6 or 7 seconds, maybe even more. Yep, about 6 seconds. There you go, nailed it. Beard against Jack now. These two don't have penalties, and Tepos has tagged himself on the back of it, and all of a sudden, because of a high-placed driver crashing out of the session, it's opened the opportunity for a podium for one of these three. Also, it's I guess if you wait enough time, you keep driving, especially with this little people, you'll be rewarded with a point, and that's exactly what Jack has done. He's been lapped for a long time, but he still moves himself up to 10th. He survived Monaco to the point right now. We might be in for another couple of moves coming up. You got Jacko. You got Jacko from Beard, from Tepos. Both guys about 7/10 of a second away from each other. It's not even that for Beard now on Jack. As we go through sector 3, let's see who can hold their nerve. Mitchell lost an entire second on the lead on the last lap. We can really see who's about to hold their nerve right now. It's about 6/10 of a second to both. DRS isn't a factor. Never will be at Monaco. There's not enough of a DRS zone to make anything stick. Still a possibility of another crash, but a dwindling possibility of a safety car. Realistically, if we're getting a safety car at all, it's got to be in the next couple of laps. Realistically, if those two park themselves in the wall and the racing line ain't going to cause the safety car, then I don't really think it's going to cause the safety car at all. We're still a lot less DNF than I first anticipated. Mitchell with a 1:11.5. He's setting qualifying times out here now. And gained an entire second and a half on the leap there. You see the time going a long way. Jack gets bunched up here with Beard, and I think there might have been a little bit of a tap. That might have caused well, it definitely caused a collision. Might have caused a little bit of damage. Might open the door here for Tepos to steal in a podium right at the very end. He's got a good shot at it, especially if he can use those softs to get round the outside of Beard sooner rather than later. We saw him pick his spot against Boomer earlier on. We see Beard pick his spot against literally half the grid in this race as well. The real question is who's going to pick their spot first. Either way, it's a podium on the blind for these three. It will be one of these three that get it. The real question is which one of these three. And we see Tepos really onto the back of him now. Yeah, it doesn't look synchronized yet, so it doesn't look like we are. Yeah, they're not synchronized, so we are actually not crashed on the game either. So Tepos car sliding a little there. You could have caught that one on the way out. On the final corner, we saw it happen a couple of times to both the Alfa Romeos in qualifying in the exact same spot. Jack gets past Samet. Samet spun it. Samet spun it. Continues on though. Almost had another DNF there. We got blue flagged in front of us, which I think is for J-Ray. Boomer also picked up 3 seconds, I think it was. not that long ago. Tepos still 7 tenths behind Beard, who's right on the back of Jack now. There's the blue flag for J-Ray coming out and having the rest of them pile on through. Beard still too far away on lap 36 to pick his spot. Jack holding on for dear life. Can't really do much more than what he's doing right now, Jack, and Beard's got a lot to do. Tepos even more to do for a podium. Tepos is running out of time. Beard's definitely got one shot in him at the very least. Those tyres a little bit older, but he seems to have more pace. As we go around the final corner, another 3 seconds worth of time penalties for Jack, who's probably going to lose out to Summit, who's weirdly always 3.254 seconds further back, and I'm not entirely sure why. But it's still got people trying to pick the spot here. We'll wait and see. We go on to we're on lap 37 now. Mitchell's about to go into lap 38. Elite not that far back. 6.3 seconds, closing the gap in a slight tad, but not enough. Beard looked to pick his spot there. You could see it. You could see the move to the outside. Not quite pulled off. J-Ray picks up 3 seconds for the shambles of a in the chicane, as we saw in the background back there. Beard really had a shot. Tepos all but ran out of time by this point. Oh, Beard's had a bit of a problem. Tepos has a run. Tepos to the inside of Sandevort. Still to the inside of Spot. He's out. Tepos is out. He's going to call blame on Beard for that. Maybe not enough room left on the inside. He was certainly alongside. That one might come into question later on. It's going to give Jack and Jay another position. More points for the two of them. Summit is still confusingly 3.254 seconds behind, irrespective of how far he is on the actual map. But oh, that's a DNF that I don't think Tepos is going to be happy with that. But Beard's had a sparkling day outside of that. That's a shot. Still has a shot. Still has one more shot. Whether or not he can get Jacko for the podium. That's the real question here. The first two were decided a long time ago. But can this be switched? Can there be a last-ditch attempt? Is there going to be a last-ditch attempt? Here comes Mitchell into the final chicane now. We'll keep an eye out on where Mitchell is. And there goes Beard. Beard spun it round. Lost the car. And that's essentially game, set, and match for your podium spots. Beard's just about going to hold Jack off because of the penalty. And here comes Mitchell through Raskas. One more time, 5.9 seconds, and quite frankly, this might be the easiest race he's ever going to have to drive, and it puts him on level pegging for most wins by a Tier 1 driver in ALR on 8. A record, well, a long time coming, and quite frankly, he couldn't have done it any easier than what he's just done. That was essentially a gift. A gift that he will take every day of the week. The Elite comes second, Jack comes third. Beard pushed for something, didn't get what he wanted at all. Had a bit of a problem with Tepos. Had a bit of a problem with himself up the top of the hill. Gets himself fourth. Jack comes over 9.5 seconds further back, but with penalties 18 seconds further back. Summit is going to beat him, however, a really don't think that's the case. There you go. That's it. What the hell have I just watched? Well, we had some last lap chaos. Bit of lift and coasting at the line. You didn't even need to in the end, because it turns out the two people you were fighting decided to apparently end both of their races. A lot happened in the final lap. Nothing happened before the final lap, but a lot happened in the final lap. But in the end, we had 4 DNFs. I said we'd had 5. I wasn't that far out. It was more what we expected from Monaco at the end of the day. We already knew coming into this there was no real overtake going to happen. We got a couple. We had a couple of very good overtakes. Beard picking his points. Tepos picking his points. Jack enjoyed himself in Sando Bot. But in the end of the day, a bunch of mistakes going on there. 5 people technically not finishing. We did have, oh no, we actually had 3 DNFs. Fair enough. Well then. Mitchell picking up the Grand Slam. Certainly a very interesting point here. But yeah, that was basically exactly what we expected from Monaco. Let's all be honest. But well, that's Monaco for you, I guess. Ah, and Chelsea just conceded. That's timed, at the very least. It looked like Tepos and Beard being civil about it, understanding where they're going. But there it is. And with that, I have not got a lot to say, because quite frankly, this would be the point where I do interviews, but there's not a lot. There's really not a lot for me to go off here. Nothing happened. But either way, don't forget, in terms of races on the channel, we've got Sunday, where the other 2 teams for F1 have a go at this monstrosity. And then on Monday, the return of GT. 2 races left on that. Few tier 1 wrapped up already, but tier 3, 4 points between them. We might have comms for that. But until then, and then back on Tuesday for sprint. But until then, peace.